Thanks. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. That was my radio voice. Good morning.
I love that. It is Monday morning, January 13th. It is 10:38 p.m. We were having a very deep conversation about commitment and the things that we're doing personally as a support group and things that we uh, together need to do to improve our processes
To
with
better
how
serve.
we're, yeah, to better serve the people that we're wanting to serve. And commitment is I believe a huge part of that commitment. And just before we hit record, understanding and knowing your why.
Yeah, it's funny because we get on the same page without even trying. Because we had this discussion for the first 35 minutes, you and I, about how we can better serve and what we need to do. And we realized we had some things that we needed to improve. And as I went to hit record for this, I was thinking, we didn't say what we were going to talk about today, but I'm definitely going to, we have to talk about why. Why do people do things? And so what's the first thing you talk about? You talk about the why. So that was, brought into our conversation before, but it wasn't something we said we were deliberately going to talk about. But it is the foundation of when you want to do something. You have to know why you are doing it. Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for somebody else? If you're not doing it for yourself, shame on you. I mean, literally, shame on you. Everything you do should be for yourself, and that breaks down to any aspect of your life. No, well, I know you could say, "Well, I have children. My children come first." No, you come first because if you're not doing what's good for you, you are not serving your children the way that you should be serving your children. So it starts with you, and no matter what area of your life it is, and so you need to know your why. Now, how
Right.
important is the why? You know,
Mhm.
how important is the why is going to shape your intent on whether or not you're actually going to do whatever the subject matter is that you've labeled your why. And if it's not, if your why is not big enough, your intent is not going to be big enough, and your results are going to be limited. If they might not even you might not get anything out of whatever you're trying to do because they're going to be limited because your intent wasn't correct and your why wasn't important enough. The reason you do something for your children, like I brought up children a few minutes ago, is because why? Because you love them, because you want the best for them. That's a big why, you know? So
Right.
you should love yourself just as much.
And I can share a personal experience. I know that in the past for me, um, when I was much younger, we'll go back 25 years. Um,
I wasn't young 25 years ago either. Okay, no, go ahead.
um, I made a lot of decisions based on what I thought other people wanted to see in me in whatever it is that I did, whether it was releasing weight, whether it was um, getting a job in a particular area. My reasons were kind of all over the place. I didn't really have a definitive um, why, because at that time I thought, well, as a mother, I decided to have children, so it is my priority to take care of them. And while that is true, your children are a priority. If you yourself are not taking care of yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and all of that entails in that, then we're going to make decisions based on what we think is best for everyone else. And we're going to put ourselves last or not at all. And then when we're trying to accomplish whatever goal, either a promotion at work, releasing weight, better relationships with our children, things are not going to get any better because you're like, well, their priority. I decided to have my job is this and this is that. And, I have a new beau that I'm, trying to impress, and I'm going to do that for them. And I've done all this stuff, and when you do that, you set yourself up for failure. When you become self-aware, you set yourself up for expected failure because you're not doing it for the right reasons. And there is a difference between doing it for the right reason and a reason that is really not benefiting you or serving your highest good. And so anything that you do, you have to, I'll always bring up Lisa Nichols, and I'm sure that someone before her has said it, but that's who sticks in my mind, is when you are serving from an empty cup instead of your saucer, you are doing a disservice to yourself because you can't be fully present for anything and everything in your life when you are operating on empty and you're not even taking care of the most important person is always you. It's always you as an individual. Your priority is you. So my priority is Andrea. Bill's priority is Bill. When Bill has served himself the way he needs to be a high energy and a positive state, feeling good, having all the energy he needs to do all the things he wants to do, he has to take care of himself, the same thing that I have to do, so that then he can serve his wife. I can serve my wife in a way where you're present, where you're able to be there for the people that you care about, for the people that you're trying to help. And so you can't do that if you're trying to serve on an empty cup. It just doesn't work well.
Yeah, being present is a big thing. If you're not present with what you're doing and what your why is, you're handicapping yourself. Uh, there's always going to be other things in your why than yourself. I mean, you're doing something. Your why is about you, but it's about you probably because of other people or other things as well. Those are the outlying things. But if you don't take care, if your why isn't big enough for yourself, it's not going to help those other people or other circumstances that you're trying to help. There's another thing that came to my mind when you were talking about, and again, but I was young 25 years ago. I was in my 40s, so yeah, I was young. Uh, the, the, we spent a good 35 minutes this morning talking, and it really was about why. Okay, now I know what I was. See, all you got to do is quit thinking about what you're trying to remember, and it'll come back to you. Oh, I forgot it. No. I put a post out this morning. I don't know if you've seen it, and I put it on the Dream and the Journey as well as the Go Me Club page. Are you the thermometer or are you the thermostat? And it kind of goes along with your why. If you're the thermometer, you're worried about all the outside influences. You're worried about, what's going on outside your bubble, and that's the thermometer, and you're reacting to that. Whereas
Right.
the thermostat is reacting to themselves. The thermostat is reacting to their inner thoughts, their inner being, their inner feelings, and then they deal with everything outside the bubble. So everything, I'm a thermostat. And I don't want to be a thermometer. So a thermometer goes up and down, up and down, up and down, where a thermostat is regulated. So and you set the temperature on your thermostat. Do you want it to be 70 degrees? Do you want it to be 65 degrees? You can do that, the same thing with your why and your intent. And that's why it came to my mind when you were saying that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely important that when you are sitting down to reflect and ask yourself that very real question, why do I want to do this? Why is this important to me? Why am I wanting to get a promotion? Why am I wanting to release weight? Why do I want to have a better relationship with the people around me? Why? When you're able to answer those questions and really reflect on what's important to you and understand that in order to be able to do all these amazing things that you want to do, you have to be um, right with yourself. Now, we're always a work in progress, so you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get it right. But the beauty of life is that you get so many opportunities to improve on things that could work better if you just tweaked a little something, or could bring a better result if you have a better understanding of why you're doing it. And so if your reasons are not in alignment with your true inner being, and that comes with being self-aware. And so it really just comes back to, I was trying not to for whatever reason, but it comes down to mindset. It
Yeah.
really comes down to mindset. If your mind is not right, then everything around you is just not going to work the way you want it to, because you have a skewed perception of why you are doing certain things, and it just doesn't work. And so I think that if you no, I don't think, I believe that if you really sit with yourself and really reflect on the reasons for wanting to do certain things to improve yourself first, I think that that will help you to make better decisions that are better aligned with your goals, whatever they may be.
You know, I did a post on my personal page this morning, and I found out now how to program. If you share from your personal page to your group page, you can schedule it to come out later. You can't schedule on your personal page, but you can schedule it on the other. So it's scheduled to come out somewhere around 12:30 on the other pages. But and that was about mindset. So it's funny how, again, same page. So if you're not my friend, become my friend. And it was a post. It was a post about mindset this morning, because it does come back down to your where your limiting beliefs are. You've shared many times how you start your morning with gratitude. You start your morning by getting out of bed and basically beginning with thank you for letting me open my eyes again this morning. Whether it's raining out or snowing out or 100 degrees outside, we're still happy that we woke up this morning. At least I am, you are, and I can't imagine most people aren't. And then, and you've seen this in the movie The Secret, where they talk about their first steps on the ground are thank you. The first two steps, thank you, and actually feel the thanks, feel the gratitude of being able to live this new day and to be able to intend your day. And that's where it all starts, in that beginning, in the beginning of your day. And that goes along with your mindset. If your mindset is it's 5 o'clock, I got to get up, I got to get to work. Let me go in there and eat and shower and do all the things I need to do. Now you've already intended your day to be rushed simply by how you're doing it. You have not done the legwork, let's call it, to establish how you really want your day to go. So get up a few minutes earlier and be grateful for the things. Be grateful the alarm clock went off. If it went off, be grateful you have a clock. Be grateful the electricity's on. The electricity didn't go out in the middle of the night. Whatever it is, you can do the work starting with the moment you open your eyes, and intend your day, improve your mindset simply by practicing those few things. And then as you go out in the day, you will see the different. I talk a lot about being aware of your thoughts. Really, it's not your thoughts you want to be aware of. You want to be aware of the feeling that your thoughts are giving. The feelings are telling you to be aware of that thought. So if you're having a bad feeling about something, and this goes back to the book, The Having again too. If the feeling is giving you a queasy feeling or an uneasy feeling, you have to sit with that and figure out, why is it doing this, and then work from that point of view, and be grateful that you had the awareness of that feeling that those thoughts gave you, so that you can improve how you're thinking, so you have better thoughts. See, it's like a little circle. So, and who is it? Abraham. All is well. All is well. You got to live your life as all is well. And the next moment's going to work out. Live in the now and be present. Another thing that came to my mind when we were talking here, how everything comes down to the why. Not everything comes down to mindset, the why, the intent. They're all one. They're linked together. Like a
Mhm.
chain. Once you
Definitely.
break the chain, you got work to do. Abraham, and for those of you that don't know Abraham, what's her name?
Esther Hicks.
Hicks, Dexter Hicks,
Mhm.
channels a group of entities called Abraham, and basically they're telling you in that she repeats it in all her books. You have to be selfish. And the selfishness doesn't mean, okay, we have two pieces of chicken today and there's five people here and I'm going to eat both pieces of chicken. It's not about that. It's about being selfish in how you feel. Be selfish in what is your day like? What is everything in your life? How is it evolving? Be selfish in that aspect, and when you can be selfish in that aspect, now you're bringing a completely different vibration and a completely different feeling out of your body that surrounds other people. So don't think it's about eating the last two pieces of chicken. You know, it's about being selfish on how you are thinking and feeling, and work from there.
Definitely. And what what I think one of the important things that you said, Bill, was that in order for us to be able to um, move forward and make decisions that are essentially aligned with what we're trying to do, you have to have the mindset. You have to be, if you've been doing this work for a while, you have to be self-aware of the things that you're thinking and how you're feeling them, because your feelings are a guidance system to address things that maybe you haven't addressed in the past,
Hmm.
or things that still need work. And the beauty of the life that we're all living is that, again, we're never going to get it right. We're always going to be growing, and time, whether you use it to your advantage or not, is definitely up to you. You can wait until you're on your last breath and say, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda done XYZ. Or you could say, on those last breaths that you're taking before transitioning on to the next phase of your existence, is that you can say, I'm happy that I lived a full life. I'm happy that even in this moment where um, I'm no longer going to be occupying this physical body, I am present. I am enjoying these last moments of my life, knowing that I've lived a full life, knowing that I've done everything that I could do. And you leave that with your children, you leave that with your loved ones. But why wait until then when you can just do it now? And so there are certain things that as individuals we have to take a different turn, and we have to make sure that we're able to adjust when things aren't working the way that they should. We have to be able to um, acknowledge that we still have work to do if the things that we're focused on are not generating the results that we want. And that all takes an individual approach, because I can't tell Bill based on what he tells me, well, this is what you need to do. No, Bill knows what he needs to do. Andrea knows what she needs to do when it comes to certain things. But when you're being given tools and you're being given support, and you don't use that support to your advantage, that's a choice you're making, and it is completely all right. Maybe you're just not ready. But again, why wait when you have the opportunity now? Because when you ask and you knock, the door is always open. Whatever you ask for is already given. It's just, will you align with it or not? Will you take the shortcut there, Or will it be the long road where you have the opportunity to say, well, this problem is always happening and that problem, I've always had this issue. I'm never going to be able to, I've always had a hard time. But someone has said to you that you have the opportunity to switch that language and even practice writing it down, record it, listen to it. Up until now, I had some challenges, but right now I'm doing everything that I can instead of, from the age of 5, I've always experienced this and it has never changed. And I've tried everything in the book and I still don't know how to write a book and I still don't know how to draw a circle and I still don't know how to make a sentence make sense,
Yeah,
whatever you want to be.
the person you are right now is the person you are, that person because of your programming. You are that person because of your mindset, whatever you want to call it. Bob Proctor calls it your paradigms. There's good paradigms and there's bad paradigms. I call the bad paradigms limiting beliefs. So if you are repeating the same language or you're living the same life, garbage life that you don't want to live, but you're still living it every day, there's something in your programming that needs to be evaluated and looked at and figure a way to change the programming. You're not going to get rid of those beliefs and thoughts or the beliefs that are in there, but you can change the way you see that belief and look at it and form a new belief that will bring you along your journey. So I know people that have been on personal development for journeys for many years. I was one of them that still was repeating some of the same old language or thinking some of the same old thoughts. A lot of times it never came out of my mouth, but I was thinking the same old thoughts, which was causing the feeling, and my awareness was there, but I didn't look into it and decide, well, why am I thinking about that? Why am I looking at the world in that way? And let's change that limiting belief or let's change that thought, which is your limiting belief and your programming, and turn it completely around. And I brought up Abraham a couple times today. I don't know why, but I guess I need to go back and listen to some Abraham today because there's no excuses. There's no coincidence. But, she'll tell you that, if you know what you don't want, you know what you do want.
Absolutely.
And that goes right along. If you know what you don't want and you're thinking thoughts and having feelings based on that, those are your limiting beliefs. So turn the what you don't want into what you do want and make your thoughts and change your programming to support that. And life becomes so much better.
It does. And I can't stress the importance of no one has to do anything. So just so we're clear, whoever's listening, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything anybody suggests. You can go on your merry way and do things your way. But what I will say is, I lost my thought for a quick
Well,
second. So
now with what
let
she
me get it.
said, that's true. You don't have to do anything. But
Right.
tomorrow, when you wake up and you're living the same life that you were living yesterday or today, and it's not what you want to do, then you can continue again. And you can say, well, I don't have to do I don't have to do what Abraham says. I don't have to do what Bill or Andrea says. And the next day will be the same or worse. And the next
Very
day
good.
will be the same or worse until you finally figure it out that, hey, my program is kind of screwed up in here. I need to reboot this computer inside my head and figure a way to put in Windows 11 instead of Windows 10. Or if you're on an Apple, I don't know what it is, the operating system. But you need to change the operating system and come up
Correct.
with something that operates in your favor.
Absolutely. And there was my thought. It came back as you were speaking, is what you do need to do. I highly recommend that you do this is if your language has always been, well, I always, and whatever comes behind it, I've had challenges releasing weight. I've never been able to find love. I've never been able to find a good job. And anything negative that comes after that.
I never have
Right
enough money.
there you go. Any of those things, and again, there's millions and millions of things that we say all the time out loud that are not promoting or helping to reinforce positive thought patterns and positive mindset because we're stuck in the same old thing. Well, I just don't have the kind of luck that you do or that she does or that he does. I don't, you know, you have to change your language. If your language continues to be that you can't do something, you are absolutely right. You're not even wrong about that. You're absolutely right. You won't be able to do whatever it is that you're doing because you have it set in your mind and you reinforce it with the words that come out of your mouth because you allow those thoughts to form sentences and you'll say the things that continue to hold you back. And then when you're trying to achieve something, it's not giving you the results that you want because you insist on saying that I've always had this problem. It's never going to change. I've tried everything. And you don't bother to change your language and say, today, I am making it a point to try to do something different. Today, I'm going to go one step at a time and I'm going to experience this as if it's already happening to me right now. I'm going to pretend that I have $1 million. I'm going to pretend that I have the perfect body that I want. I'm going to pretend that I have the energy and the mental capacity to do all the things that I want to do instead of saying, I'm in a bad mood. And because 10 years ago, such and such crossed me in the road, I see this person every day. And every time I see them, they just piss me off. And I'm just going to be mad and angry all the time. And even though I want that $1 million, well, I'm still mad at that person for cutting me off in the lane because they could have caused an accident. I could have died. I could have this. I could have that. It's like just change your language. You have to change your language if your language that you've been using up until now has not been serving you.
And
Sorry for telling you what to do. You can do what you want, but I'm just
what,
saying.
here's the thing, and I'll close it out with this because we've used up our the allotted time that we try to use. You can't say anything without a thought, and you can't have a thought without a feeling. So
Mhm.
if you're saying something, be aware of what you're feeling when you say it or right after you say it. And that's going to tell you whether or not you need to upgrade the computer that you use inside your head, which is your mindset.
Mhm.
And with that, don't forget to join us on the 25th of January at 1 p.m. in the afternoon for our imagination party, which is going to be on self love and gratitude. And the guest speaker, who's not a guest, is Andrea, who's going to talk a little bit about the book, The Having. And with that said, we're going to actually ask if other people that are at the party, if in the future they would like to talk about certain subjects as well. So, and the Mind movie will be on gratitude as well and self love. So, your turn. The toodaloos and
Until then, toodaloo, darlings.
there you go. Sayonara, guys. Live life. Live today. Be present. Be full of gratitude and love. And your life is just going to be that much better. Again, I like what I said today about upgrade your operating system. That was a new one for me, and I like that. So I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it.
Yes. And we did forget, if what we've said today has been of value to you, or you know of someone that could use the message that we've spoken on today, like, share, subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow. We thank you for your support. And again, have an amazing and incredible day and toodaloo, darlings.
And you are perfect just the way you are.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.